when you reach a certain level of awareness, you'll come back to this inner joy and you'll become a child again. It's kind of like being born again, where everything becomes amazing again, and you just go out, explore, go down the woods, build camps, do all the things you used to do when you were a child, when you were exploring the world. But this time you do it with more joy because you've seen the other side, okay? You've seen the other side, so you now appreciate that joy from a whole new level, a whole new perspective. And that's why I'm here now, swinging on this child swing, because they don't make swings for adults. Like, why is that, guys? Like, why don't they make swings like this for adults? Because they don't want adults, okay? The system doesn't want adults having this much fun, especially without spending a lot of money. But the sooner we come out of that trap, the sooner we find our real joy and real happiness, which is within us all. It never goes away. It's just masked by the ego, which is created by the social conditioning and the fears that's instilled in us since we were children. And this starts at a very early age, okay? Even when you have to put your hand up to go to the toilet, that's when it starts, okay? Like, little things that people don't even realise are taking away our joy as entities in this reality. Like, little tiny things, one after another, all down to fear, okay? And then all that leads to bigger things that society kind of teaches us that's normal, but it actually isn't normal. Things like marriage, etc. All that's based on insecurity and fear. Most rules and regulations here in the physical world, like the physical rules, the physical laws that are created by the establishments, okay? A lot of that's not necessary, okay? A lot of that is because people have been so conditioned with fear from an early age that they have to go out and break the law. Okay, so obviously they don't want people breaking the law, so they've got to create more laws and more laws. And this never ends, you know what I mean? Like, this never ends. The only person that can end it is you. Like, the society's not going to change, okay? There's a lot of greedy people at the top who are not going to change the laws because they want people to have fun. They want the exact opposite because they want to control people so they can make all the money. But every single law, rule, regulation that's being created is being created to dumb people down and take people away from their true innocence, their true inner child inside. And that's why I decided to become free from it all. Okay, I stopped watching the news about 10 years ago. I took myself out of the traditional working system where you treat like a slave now. I decided to wake up every morning and do what I feel like doing rather than do something that I didn't want to do, like most people do nowadays. And here I am. Okay, here I am, enjoying a park, enjoying the woods, enjoying walking down the beach, enjoying gardening, enjoying anything that I feel like doing on that specific day. I'll just do because I'm following my highest joy. And when you follow your highest joy, like I've said in previous videos, guys, like, this is when the kingdom of heaven opens up and everything becomes amazing again, like you were when you were a child. So so no one's going to teach you how to do this. Some of you will learn how to do this by having really, really bad experiences because of society, because you're following society and you think you're doing the right thing. And a lot of people who do this end up with a lot of money, maybe, okay, but they're never truly happy. That's why there's a lot of rich people out there who are very miserable. There is some rich people who are happy, by the way, who've realised this, but it's probably not many. Okay, it's probably not many. But when you do realise this, what's interesting is you don't really even need money because everything's just in your mind. Everything's just in your mind and your imagination, like it was when you were a child. When you were a child, out having the best times of your life, did you have loads of money? Probably not. So this in itself is proof that you don't need money. You don't need to follow what society's telling you to do, okay? Be a slave, a battery to the system, just so you can enjoy your life. Because if you do this, okay, you're probably going to be doing a job you don't like. You're probably going to be trying to get somewhere all the time. And like I've said in previous videos, when you try and get somewhere constantly, you never quite get there, because once you get there, you want something else. So it's a never-ending kind of chase, instead of just stopping, enjoying the present moment and tasting the coffee. You need to remove yourself. You need to unlearn everything you've been taught by society, by the system. You have to unlearn all that before you can see truth, which is absolute truth, which is you are an entity and you're free to do whatever you choose, as long as you're not harming other people, okay? As long as you're not harming anybody in the process, you're not going to get karma for it. In fact, you're going to get lots and lots of good, positive effects from this, because what you put out in the world, whatever joy you show, comes back to you, okay? And then you reach levels where you don't need to try anymore. You don't need to try to impress anymore or anything like this. And then you've got more time on your hands, because you don't need to chase money constantly, because you've realised money doesn't really matter. And then you've got more time on your hands to help others and give love. And because you're giving love, you get love back. And the love cycle never ends like that, okay? Expanding on this concept that I'm talking about now, I mean, look at this. I'm in this little crazy little hidden area in the woods, and nobody's ever here. Every time I come here, nobody's here. I'm here, okay? I can create anything I want in this space. I could have this as a second home if I wanted. I could put a couch right there. I could put a coffee table and chairs there. I could go to McDonald's, get a coffee, come down here, drink the coffee, enjoy this as if it was my own back garden anytime I want, because the world is a free world. So when they created this law where you can buy land and you can own this plot of land, etc., that created the problem, you see. And I've said this in previous videos, like, what is it? Does the solution create the problem, or does the problem create the solution? Okay, it's the same thing. Like, it's all a paradox. And this paradox is part of the dualistic way of thinking, which when you come out of, you realise wasn't even real, it's all an illusion, and you realise everywhere is your back garden. Like, everywhere is your back garden. You can go anywhere you want. It's a free world. Okay, it's a free world as long as you're not harming anybody, okay? So this is how I decided to live my life. And since I've done this, okay, there's been a massive weight off my shoulders, because let's face it, if you're following what society's telling you to do, okay, and all these laws and rules and regulations, etc., you're constantly looking over your shoulder all the time. Like, I did this a while back when I used to drive. I used to always be worried about what speed I was doing. Like, I was driving along the road, I was worried about what speed I was doing, because I always had this fear of something might happen to us, okay? I might get a fine, the police might pull us, all this and that. And then I came to a realisation where I thought, you know what, like, why have I got this weight on my shoulders, constantly worrying about everything I'm doing all the time, just because somebody said that you can't do it? So I decided to just ignore all these rules and regulations and just drive with my own safety in mind, okay? So if I was on a road where it was like you could see everything in sight, I use my own common sense to know that I can go faster on that road. Whereas if I seen a road where there was lots of people around, I would go slower than the actual speed limit, okay? So these rules and regulations are in place just for stupid people, basically, who have become stupid because of these rules and regulations. There's another paradox, you see, guys. Like, a lot of these roads that are very, very dangerous, okay? In England here, they'll put like a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. Literally. And when you go past these roads, it's so busy with people walking over the road and everything. If you were to travel 20 mile an hour on that road, it would be lethal. You've got to literally travel 5 miles an hour sometimes. So this in itself is evidence that these rules, they're just basically physical rules. They're not spiritual laws. You see what I mean, guys? Like, eventually you'll reach a level of awareness where you realize all laws and rules and regulations are already there in your own consciousness. You just have to basically see that, okay? You don't need anybody to tell you what to do to know how to be safe and how to be good to others and how to keep others safe. That's just pure spiritual common sense based on love. You see, but because fear came into the world at some point, and then all these fears came in and rules and regulations and this mass manipulation of society, everybody now fears things, okay? So all these rules are there backing up the fear. Everybody seems to have forgot this. And now what have we got? We've got like people running around, okay, or driving around wearing masks when there's nobody else in the car. Okay, you've got people with their head buried in the phone as soon as they're alone, as soon as the partner goes for a coffee and gets the coffee, is there sitting down the phone straight out because they don't want to talk to people. Okay, you've got all these like kind of sheep running around who don't know any different because they've never thought about how to come out of that box and out of that social conditioning that's been programmed into them since they were a child. And this is why I make these videos, guys. I just want to wake a few people up, but most people that watch these videos already know this. But if you know someone who doesn't know this, please pass this video on to them and let them hear this, okay? Because I'm telling you guys, like, if you haven't already realized this, okay, just try it. Like, try not following a rule. Try not being so fearful of something at some point and just thinking, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Okay, try going out like you did when you were a child and go and explore some woods. Try going out building a camp. Try going out by yourself, getting a coffee. You don't need to be with somebody, okay? A lot of people don't go anywhere without being with somebody because they're too scared. Like, in this day and age, okay, guys, like, all this fear stems from the same thing. It stems from conditioning and programming, which society has basically created, and it's all an illusion. Like, it's literally an illusion. If you know in your mind there's nothing to fear, okay, there's nothing to fear, because your mind creates that reality. And this is where it gets a little bit deeper, guys. Like, whatever you think and believe in your mind, then that creates that reality, and the physical surroundings literally change to match that. Like, literally, there's parallel universes upon the trillions and trillions and trillions all happening simultaneously. Every single possible thing is already happening in a still shot, and our consciousness is just flicking through those still shots billions of times a second based on our thoughts and beliefs, and it's creating that reality. So in reality, some people argue there's only us here, or there's only one person, which is God, and we're just different aspects of that God experiencing itself, so everything else is an illusion. But that's for another video, guys. But yeah, if you fear things, okay, just remember that it's not worth fearing, okay? Even think of it as if, like, what's the consequences if I don't do this? And really, are the consequences really going to be that bad? Is it going to be the end of your life? Okay, what's going to happen? At the very most, you're going to get a little fine or something like that, or get rung off a police officer, or something like that. Because most people out there are so afraid because when they're at school they got rung off the teacher, and that's just stuck with them in the mind, and they haven't progressed out of that paradigm yet. So they're scared of getting rung off the police, rung off this, going to court for this and that. They're scared, they're too scared, you see, guys. But in reality, what's going to happen? As long as you're not harming anybody, okay, love still remains. And if love remains, no matter where you are, no matter what courtroom you're in, okay, if you haven't caused harm to anybody, nothing bad's going to happen to you either, because you're creating that paradigm, and because you're in that loving paradigm, you're only going to get love back wherever you are, even if you're in prison, guys. Like, this is how it works. Okay, whatever your thoughts and beliefs are, that's what comes back to you. So if you were about to die, what would you think when you look back on your life? Would you think, like, I'm glad I lived that life, I did everything I could? Or would you have regrets? Okay, this is what you need to think about, because the world's always trying to kill love. Like, law and society, okay, and greedy people who control the masses are trying to kill love, because they probably didn't have love either, okay? They probably don't have enough love, and they don't like to see other people having love and enjoying themselves. So that's probably why they're greedy in the first place, okay? Because evil and fear spreads. Like, fear is can spread very easily because it's programmed in them the same way as they program it in us. So the only way to get out of this is to kind of remove yourself from this cycle. Now, I don't know if these people can do this, okay, because they're probably too busy trying to control people than what they would be watching videos like this. But hopefully, like, they might watch this video. Somebody might watch this video and free themselves from that karmic cycle of greed. But you never know, okay? But in the meantime, you guys can do this, okay? You can free yourself from this situation that we're in. The world's going crazy. Don't let it affect you, because you're always free and you always have been, okay? You're always an innocent little child who can do what you want, and you're free. And I hope you enjoyed those videos, guys. That was a really hard shift during the start of July there. It was really hard. But like I said in those videos as well, like, once you get over these shifts, you go on a new level where you can just go out and appreciate the world with a brand new state, and things just become better and better and better. So that's it, guys. I'll leave you with a nice view of the sea in the distance there. Have a nice day, guys. Leave your comments. See you in the next video.